What's up, everybody? This is the Thenovapodcast, Miles Nova, episode 2. I'm here with Georgia State left-hand pitcher Rob Evans. Rob, introduce yourself real quick.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rob. Me and Miles go way back, back at the P27 days. 2020. I was there in 2021. He got there in 2022. And we graduated. We was done with high school last year. It's actually crazy to think about.
Yeah, bro. It was so long ago, bro.
It feel like it's been like 2-3 years that we've been out of high school.
I know, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Yeah, bro. But let's get straight into it. So just talk about growing up in the city and stuff like that, and how you got into baseball, and why do you play baseball? Is there any driving factor of why you play, or do you just love the game for what it is?
Honestly, I got asked that question a good bit. My first thought to that is really like there was no desire in me to I want to be a baseball player. It was more so like it was just what I was around. Like my dad played ball, my brother was playing ball, like my sister played baseball with me. So it's kind of something that I just developed into. I kind of want to play football for a little bit. I want to play football, but my mom was more so scared of the injuries and what came with that stuff. So we didn't really get too deep into it. Just a little bit, but we didn't get too deep because we were the injury factor was a big part. But baseball, it was more so like a family thing. Like family was so tied into the sport and everybody loved it. So I was like, hey, might as well. Realized that I had some natural talent for it. And I was like, look, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to run with it. I mean, it's got me far now. So, can't stop.
Yeah, for sure. So growing up in the city, the city is mainly basketball, baseball, it's getting up there now. But how was it like growing up in New York?
It was different. It's just like growing up in New York, it's a certain determination you got to have as an inner city kid. Because, a lot of people, when you go to these other states and cities, they don't see New York inner city kids as kids who are going to make it and do big things and crazy things in the world, either as business, sports, anything like that. So, coming up from New York, you got to be able to wear different chips on your shoulders that a lot of people don't wear, take a lot of different things that a lot of people don't. And I feel like that it really molded me into a way better person because growing up in the city, it was just something that you, as a kid, you don't really understand, right? As to why it could be that bad or a certain way. But when you get older and you start to see certain things play out, you're just like, damn, this is how it is. And then you learn how to grow with it. And
I feel like you appreciate it. You appreciate growing up in that environment because it makes you a better
person. That was
person.
one thing I didn't do early on. I used to try to tell you, people, when I moved to South Carolina, I started telling people I was from South Carolina. I just go to high school here. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really embrace it, and it'll make you something better. Yeah. But when you try to shy away from where you're from, I feel like that's when you really forget who you actually are as a person. Because New York is honestly who I am, and it's made me. So I'm gonna always keep that with me.
Yeah, bro, for sure. So you went to high school. Where'd you go to high school at? In New York?
In New York, I was at All Hallows. That was 2 blocks away from Yankee Stadium, a big baseball school. At the time that I was there, it kind of died down a little bit now, which is sad. But when I was there, we had some really good guys. Me, Marcus Smith, Evan Diaz, Ethan Diaz. We had a really good team. And it kind of just died out after after we had left and the class after us, it pretty much died out. But All Hallows was really known for baseball for a good amount of time in the Bronx.
Yeah, so after you went there and then you found P27, why did you decide to make the move over there to South Carolina?
What's funny is me and Corey had talked a while. People who I went to high school would know that. Me and Corey talked for a little bit beforehand. We talked when I was in freshman year of high school. But obviously, I was 14, freshman year of high school. Parents aren't going to be so lenient to letting you go to South Carolina, miles away from home, when I barely even left to go by myself to travel tournaments. Yeah, so that was something that just wasn't going to happen, and I knew that. So we the conversation stopped for a little bit because I played my freshman and sophomore year at All Hallows, and then COVID had hit. And it kind of started because baseball in New York was really dead. You couldn't go outside.
It was dead. It was shut down. Yeah.
All facilities were closed, and it was the facilities being closed. It was bad because there was already such little amount of facilities that for them to close, it shut down a lot of training and stuff like that. So when I had the opportunity and I thought back and I just kind of saw where I wanted to be in baseball, and I knew baseball was my thing, and I knew I wanted to play baseball all the time. Kind of figured I had to. There was no other choice to that, and if I tried to stay in New York, I definitely think I say it all the time now, I probably wouldn't be playing baseball.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so doing that, and then going to P27. You had your year there, and then after P27, you went to Chipola. So describe that JUCO life, man. I know that JUCO life is tough, man. I know.
It's a real
I know
thing.
it's a weird adjustment, but it's fun. But it's tough though, because
This that JUCO thing is a real thing. Like people think it's like the JUCO bandit aspect of it isn't such just going JUCO. It's like the stuff that you have to go through at a JUCO, because when you're in a JUCO, the coaches don't have rules that really need to be followed by the NJCAA. Practices are just different. Games are different. So like, and life is different, right? Like I was living at Chipotle in the dorm, and I promise you, my teammates made it amazing. Like we had so much fun together. But when you're in that dorm, it literally feels like you're in a jail cell. No joke. It feels like you're in a jail cell. You have a bunkie, and y'all have nothing to do all day but talk and watch TV, maybe.
Yeah, bro, nothing.
That grind, like, it makes you so much better as a player, as a person. It just makes you think, like, all right, you got it bad, but you might have had it bad before. But Chipola will show you. Chipola showed me, like, look, this is having it bad. Like we were running every day in the Florida heat. Whenever we played bad, we had to hear from Coach Jay, who was a great coach, respected by a lot of people in JUCO and in college baseball. It was just every day. Like you were just, oh my, like I want to leave, I want to go home. But at the same time, I told myself, I was like, bro, you is not going home. You're not leaving. You cannot quit. It was that simple. Like, that's all I told myself. And even being somebody who, had a good, decently well experience at Chipola playing wise, it was still hard. Like days when, even if you played well, like being at Chipola and being in a JUCO and stuff like that, in a nobody town, it was just so hard to live with. And because I'm from New York, so obviously I'm used to seeing people all the time.
It's way different.
I went to high school with all my teammates. Like I lived with all my teammates, so it was just like, dang, like I hate this place, but at the same time, you love it because it's like nobody else is going through this. Like it is you. I knew the grind was gonna make me better, and as soon as I got to Georgia State, that's when I started to see like Chipola made me something.
Yeah, I feel like it tests your character, bro. It tests everything. Like it tests you really, if you're really dedicated to that sport, if you're willing to make sacrifices for that sport, and
it pushes you to the brink of quitting like so bad, and I fell victim to it a couple times where I just sat back sometimes and I'm like, dang, like I want to quit, but at the same time, if you made it that far, like what's the point? If you make it to school at Chipola, what's the point of quitting when you know one good weekend, 2 good weekends, a good month could change everything for you?
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with like some doubts? Like being a pitcher, like the mental side is like very important. Have you ever had your doubts? Like, damn, like I don't know if this is for me, or like I don't know if like I'm willing to take it to the next level or not. Like this is crazy. Like talk about like the mental side of it a little bit. Like just like baseball in general, like pitching. Like have you ever had like your doubts and things like that?
I mean, yeah, there's been multiple times where I just be like, you have a bad out, and because pitch is so different from hitting. Like you only touch that mound so many times. Like you don't get to go out there every day and go fix what you need. Like hitting, you can go 0 for 4 the next day. You could literally go that same night,
bounce back,
and go swing, take some swings. Pitching, you can't. You physically can't. It just doesn't work like that. Mm-hmm. So I've had my times where I'm just like down and out. P27, Corey over there, he helped me a lot because he knew sometimes like I would do bad and I'd be like, dang, like maybe this ain't gonna work out, and I feel like those times really happened to me personally around the draft time. Having so many friends that were, really good prospects and are very good prospects now in their respective organizations. I was kind of one of those kids that sat back and was just like, dang, like I wonder when my time gonna come. Like I'm wondering.
Yeah, bro.
And last year, being in the draft and after Chipola, it got to a point where the dream was starting to come real. And it was starting to come to me, and you don't really think about it, right? All those doubts that I had, it was kind of like, dang, like this is it. Like I'm here now. My name is in the door. People know who I am. And I feel like those doubts that I had when I was younger, at 17, I feel like my doubt in age was literally 17, probably 18. After that, after my first experience in the draft after high school, they kind of went away because it's like when you hear all this stuff from this outside validation from other people, it just boosts your confidence itself. When you feel like your work that you're doing, people are recognizing, right? So when I got out of that draft after my high school senior year, and I went into Chipola, I had a little bit of extra confidence, and I was like, look, I can do this. Like this is gonna be something that is gonna change my life if I just keep working. And it's continued to go like that. After Chipola in the draft, heard good things, and I was really excited. and ultimately decided that it was just like something that I wasn't going to let the doubts get me anymore, right? I was just going to have the confidence, and whatever happened, happened. And I couldn't really stress about it too much, because whenever you start stressing, that's when the doubts really come in. When you're so overly focused on your goal that you don't give yourself an opportunity to just relax and be even keeled with your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So backing up on that, like what do you do to like take your mind off baseball, and what are some hobbies that you have and stuff like that? Like what do you do to like get away from baseball? Because like it's mentally draining, and you got to have something that you like to do.
Yeah, like coming up, this is going to be my first like official college baseball season. A lot of games, a team where we're possibly going to be playing in a regional and playing for some good game for some big time games. I feel like what I've done recently to just take my mind off it is really just disconnect from the world and kind of just relax with friends. You know what I mean? Like go, whether it be go out and watch a game at a restaurant, or whether it be go to somebody else's house and chill. Just doing something that takes your mind off of your sport, because your sport can only be on your mind for so much, right? You can't have it in your head 25/8. It's good. It's great to be a baseball junkie. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are baseball junkies, basketball, football, but you can't. You're not an analyst. You're not a fan. You are the player. So at the end of the day, when you're thinking about it so much, it will affect your performance. These analysts, they can literally watch their sports 25/8 because that's their job. Your job is to play the sport, not to think about the sport 25/8. So whenever I get a chance, which was a lot recently in the fall, because fall ball, you don't play as much. You're really training a lot, heavy workouts, stuff like that. You just find time to like get on a video game, watch some TV, like scroll on TikTok, just do something that's that's really just not so focused on your sport or whatever you have to do. Because as soon as you catch yourself in the realm of just watching and thinking about that sport 25/8, you don't even realize how bad it could be for you, because you think, like I'm so locked in on what I have to do pitching, mentally, like on my mechanics. You'll throw yourself off out of whack trying to fix the stuff that you shouldn't even be worrying about at that time.
Yeah,
if it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday night, dude, go do something.
Yeah, do something.
Go play TV, go play a video game. Like don't be up at 11 o'clock in the morning watching your pitching video trying to tweak something.
Yeah.
Be relaxing and do that Sunday morning.
Exactly. Yeah, so how was that transition from Chipola to Georgia State? Like, especially you've only had this fall to experience stuff, but how is the transition, and how are things going?
Honestly, I'll probably say this is the craziest transition of my life. Like, I thought it would be something easy and smooth. Like it was a little rough at first. I was like, dang, like this is different. Like these are guys that played here last year, got to learn the ropes a little bit, like learn who you are on the team. And like at first, because at Chipola, I can honestly say from day one, I kind of knew who I could be on that team and instantly knew how to go about it. When I got here, I was kind of like, like I'm gonna take a step back and think about it. Like my teammates say, at fall ball, I didn't do anything with them on the weekends. Like it was really just me, which is kind of a bad thing. Like when I would give advice to kids coming into college, go be with your friends. Like whether it be they're going out, like college, it's normal to go out. That's what I had to realize. I was one of those kids that were like, bro, I don't need to go out. Like it's stupid. You don't need to go out. No, like the more you go out, the more of a bond that you'll have with your teammates, and that just means more games that y'all will come closer with. Y'all will win together, and it feels better when you're winning, when you know that boy next to you on the bus or on the field is your boy for life. So like I say, go out. Like that's what I had to learn to do, going out. As far as on the field, I've never been one to worry with talent. Like I've always been, blessed with talent, so I've never worried like too much. And I know what my capabilities were, so I wasn't really stressing on that. It was more so stressing on the factor I would have on the team, right? Like what I could do on the field. Off the field, cool. Whether I be the joker or the funny guy that everybody looks up. No, I wanted to be that guy on the field that everybody was saying, like, Rob helped us make it to a regional. Rob did this, and Rob was there for the teammate when they were down. I wanted to be that other guy. So it took me a little bit to, like process that and how I could do it. But now, like I said, like every day feels like every other day. It literally feels the same every day. Walking in, talking to your teammates. It's been a smooth transition up into the spring. We're 24 days out now, 25. And I feel like if you would have asked me this question, how I was doing early on in the fall, I'd probably be like, dang, this is the longest fall of my life. But now I'm just relaxed and having fun with it, getting ready to go for a big season because I feel like it's just going to be different compared to JUCO ball, high school ball.
Yeah, bro. So going off that, what are some goals for you this spring, and what are some goals for you this year?
I mean, my first goal is honestly making it regional. I feel like that's something that a lot of kids can't say they've done. A lot of kids can't say they've played postseason ball in college. I feel like it'd just be something special for the school, for us. We got a lot of older guys on this team that I look up to a lot because I know that some are going to be their last years of baseball, and I just wanted to be something special for them. Something that they can remember going into their next lives of whatever they're doing. Right, because knowing I'm somebody who still has another year until they're even eligible for the draft again. Like I have some time on my plate for college, but I know it runs up quick, and I want to take advantage of it as much as I can. So making original is one. Number two, I want to be a guy in the mix for pitcher of the year. Of course, I want to be a guy that everybody looks at on this roster, on the staff, and they say, yeah, he led the staff doing this. He led the staff in this, that, and not only just because of the individual accolade, but because I know what I've done in past years and how close I've gotten to fully tapping into my potential. And I just feel like this year it'd be something special if I could, get that award, because then it shows you hey, you weren't even near your potential yet. And now I'm starting to hit the surface of it. So that's two. And then my third probably would be, really, I don't even have a third goal. I really have two goals: make a regional and be somebody who's everybody's looked at afterwards and says, dang, he really helped that team win. Because that's the two biggest things, win as a team and then be somebody on the team who people looked up to and they knew that you were a factor. So that's my really two goals. My third one's still up in the air, honestly, because I really couldn't tell you an exact one. But those two would definitely be the ones that I'm thinking about constantly. I think about a regional every day. I think about field with those guys every day, what I'll do every weekend to help the guys. So, yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah, bro, keep balling this year. I know you got it in you, man. I've been around you. I know the type of guy you are, and you gonna do this thing, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's something that I've thought about for a while, and I was like, dang, this is the closest I've been to telling myself to being able to tell myself I'm somebody who's gonna be a top 3-4 rounder and getting into college ball, because JUCO's different, obviously. You have a different stigma put onto you when you're at a JUCO, no matter how good you are. It does not matter how good you are. Nobody's going to say that you're better than the average Division I ball player because they think JUCO guys are just you're a JUCO guy. So you shouldn't get the respect that other guys get. But now that I'm here, I feel like you make a name for yourself on the college surface.
All you gotta do is ball out. That's it.
Yeah, not much people can say when you're making a name for yourself on the college surface. College baseball is probably one of the hardest things to play in. Because the amount of talent that we're going to face week in and week out, playing in the Sun Belt, you're going to go face Coastal. You're going to go face Troy. We have a month where we play Troy and Coastal in the same month, play Marshall. It's just going to be a month that you're not going to go a week without seeing somebody that you're just dang, this kid or this lineup is really dang good. And I feel like I'm really excited for that because I love to compete. That's one thing. I just love to go out there and be able to say, I battled with the best and I won.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I got these two questions. So what's something that you're passionate about? And two, what's advice for a kid that's wanting to make it to that next level but doesn't know what to do and doesn't know what how to think and going to the recruiting process, stuff like that, and he wants to up his game? What's some advice you would give to a kid that wants to take their game to the next level but just doesn't know how to?
For one, my biggest thing to tell somebody who's really struggling on what to do and how to get to the next level, it would be to just stay grounded and stay true to yourself, right? Don't try to let this because social media is going to become a big problem. And I'm not one to really speak on the whole social media thing because I'm somebody who is active on social media because it does help you later on, even after your sports life. It does benefit you. Yeah. So I feel like, for one, as a kid growing up nowadays, it's going to be hard because you are coming up in an age of time where social media runs the world.
Yeah.
And you got to really be smart on how you use social media and how you let it affect you. So my one thing would be, number one would just be, don't let social media get to your head. It doesn't matter that the kid that you're facing has 12,000, 20,000 followers. Nobody cares about social media when you're on that field in between the lines, right? It's just you you have the ball in your hand, they got a bat in their hand, go to work, and it's that simple. 2, training. Like you got to be somebody who's willing to go in, and I could say me personally, when I had my first year at P27, I wasn't willing to exactly do the extra things, right? Like I was just willing to do the bare minimum, and it kind of showed in my performance. I never had really a big jump in anything. It was basic, 88, 90, which is nothing nowadays. So
Yeah.
be somebody who's willing to go out there, and when you do play well, still go to the gym every week, every day, getting your work in, listening to your coaches, listening to your friends, your teammates, because your teammates will be more realistic with you than your coaches sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes your coaches can't come to you in certain spots because they're a little more older to have to take a certain route to it. Your teammates will tell you straight up, like, hey, like this is what you need to do, and that's what I think. Right. So being able to take constructive criticism, that's one. Being able to listen and take it in and actually know that it's going to make you better if you listen. And then finally, probably it would be just go ball, bro. Like, just like stop thinking so much and just go ball. Do what you know what you can do. If you don't know if you can do it, find out that you can do it by going the ball. Like, go out. I challenge everybody who's younger than me and looking to be in a spotlight like college baseball like I am. Go out there one game. If you don't know that you're good enough, go out there one game. Don't even think and just let your abilities do the talk. Don't think, basically cut your mind off for a day. That's what I try doing every time when I have to pitch. Cut my mind off. Realistically, you're probably like, what? Like, you're not supposed to cut your mind off when you're pitching. That doesn't mean cut your mind off from everything. It means cut your mind off from the outside noise that you may be putting into it. Right? Like, when we go play at other stadiums, for example, if we go play at Troy and Coastal, you think I should have my brain open? Like, you think I should let my ears take in everything I'm hearing from fans? No, like, you are going to hear some things that you don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able. That's the difference between great and good. You got to be able to go out there, not caring what other people are saying, and go do what you got to do, right? So being able to cut out the outside noise when it comes to social media, even your family sometimes can get in your noise, get in your head, telling you, hey, you're better than this kid, you're better than that kid. Don't listen to anybody else but yourself when it comes to this stuff, when it comes to the confidence piece. Be confident in yourself, and go to work. Just at the end of the day, all it is you going and trusting and believing what you've done for your whole life. Like, if you've trained and you know you've worked for it, I strictly believe that there should be nothing that you're worried about. If you know that you work for it, the only people who doubt themselves are the people who are sometimes doubting what they're putting in. If you know you're doing it, don't doubt it. Go out there and go after it. Because the more you just do that, is the more your performance will be on an incline instead of a decline. You never want to be on a decline. So if you just allow yourself to play free and have fun, it'll benefit you so much more. And I feel like that's something I did too. Because high school, I used to play tight-minded. Right, I used to just be like, "Hey, I got to do this." Because I was at high school, Miles. Like, we played at high school, a bunch of Division I commits, a bunch of athletes who were going to go play.
Everyone.
Everybody you played with was going to be somebody in college ball that you played with further on. So when I went out there, I was kind of stressed. But then when it got towards the end of my high school career, I was just like, dude, like, high school's ending. Like, this is high school. This is literally high school baseball. So it doesn't matter how good the team is, just go out there and play fun. And that should be the same for all levels. College baseball may be a little different because the outside noise can sometimes get to you when you see stuff on social media about your team or your teammates. You still got to go out there and do your job. Nobody, at the end of the day, you're not going to be known for what somebody said about you in the stands. Nobody's going to remember you for what somebody said. Everybody's going to remember you for what you did in response to those people in the stands and those people talking about you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's been the game we've been playing since we were little. You know what I mean? Like, and when you're out there, like, nobody cares. Like, just focus on yourself, do what you got to do, and just have fun.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of kids fall victim because they're so worried about, all these scouts.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff. Look, like, I've talked to my fair share of scouts. These scouts love when a kid is just doesn't care what other people have to say about him, whether it's negative or good. Well, sometimes it depends on how you go about it, obviously. Yeah. But if you're one of those kids who go out there and say, look, I'm going to go ball, I'm going to go do me, no matter what you say, everybody's going to love you. It don't matter if you play well or not. If you go out there and you're going to give 110% every time you touch that field, nobody will ever say, dang, this kid is, I don't like him. I'm not going to say, he may not be the best at what he does, but guess what? He goes out there every time and he tries his best. He doesn't go out there and shy away from the moment because he's scared of his abilities not being enough. You can't be afraid of not being enough, right? If you're not enough, God will show you that you ain't enough at some point, but don't let yourself tell yourself that you're not enough, right? That time will come later on, but until that time comes when it's showing you straight up to the face that you're not enough for what you're doing or not good enough for the level of that you're playing at, then until then you got to keep working and just keep going.
Yeah, just keep grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what do you, Rob Evans, want to be remembered as? What do you want to leave out there as you're like, and what do you want to be remembered as, and also like what's something that drives you every day? What's something that keeps you going, and what's something that gives you that edge, like that fire to just like keep going?
I'd say I want to be remembered as somebody who just, who changed for the better. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people know me early on, and I was very immature with certain things I said, certain things I did, and it obviously wasn't going to work with the career that I'm trying to have. And I just want to be known as somebody who went out there and, whether it took me 2 years, a year, 3 years, I changed, and I changed for the better of myself and the people around me. And that's one thing I feel like I pride myself on, just trying to be better in all aspects, whether it be, today I woke up and I did some homework, or yesterday I did it. Just trying to be better in all aspects of how I'm living, because at the end of the day, when you stack up the days of you living and doing things that you should be doing the right way, the one day that you've been dreaming of your whole life, it'll come because you stacked up so many good days that the good days compiled into one great moment. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to get myself prepared for, because I know in 2025 in July, it's a moment that I'll be waiting for my whole life, just to, be able to sit down with all my friends and hear my name get called in the draft and take it from there. So I feel like that's one thing, just being remembered as somebody who changed for the better and took himself and put himself in a different position than everybody else may have wanted him to be. Because I know a lot of people definitely thought I wouldn't be in a position I am. I heard it multiple times. My family heard it multiple times. But to be in a position I am now, I'm more than blessed and more than happy to be here. So I feel like just stacking those good days, and it'll be something special for me. And on top of that, what drives me probably is just probably passing my boy D. Miles, him, my boy D Rod. I was definitely my best friend.
Yeah, RIP, bro.
Know him for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, and I'm not one to be friends with somebody so quickly. I don't befriend people very quickly and make them that close to me. But I was one of those dudes that you couldn't even deny that me and D Rod were the same exact person, right? Like, and it was because I saw a lot of myself in D Rod, but it was kind of in ways that I knew I needed to help, right? Like I wanted to help get those ways that I saw in me out of him. And so when you find somebody like that, you usually attach yourself to them very quickly, because if you want to help them, then you can help them because you know how they're acting and you know what helps you out of those ways. So the passing my boy D-Rod just definitely, that's something I think about every day. I don't go a day without thinking about it. And a lot of people, like, I sometimes get caught up in the fact that it happened in 2022. Like, I haven't really given myself time to think and process it fully, because I didn't even get to show up at a funeral, do stuff like that. But I feel like it's something that pushes me every day, because I know everybody who knew D-Rod, like, he'd be the first person jumping in the room as soon as the draft went down and he saw some of his boys get picked up. Like, he'd be the first person happy in the room, because that's who he was. Like, he was a happy kid, always making jokes. So, but like, that's just something that no matter what, I always use as motivation, because I knew if it was one person that would be there with me right now, no matter what, if I told him to pack his bags, come to Georgia, bro, I needed him to come stay with me real quick, he was getting in the car and he was driving down telling his mom, and that's somebody I still talk to personally. She would like hop in the car, he'd come down here, we chill it out, and that's just somebody who I keep it with me at all times, because those type of people, even when they pass away, they shouldn't fade from your life, and you know what I mean. They stick with you forever.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, man, this is the end. I appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, my boy. You know that.
I appreciate you, bro.
We definitely gonna collab on a lot more. I just got my Spotify stuff set up with the podcast and everything. So as long as time allows me to, with the way schedule's about to start filming up, when we got 20 days to the season start. So as long as time allows, dude, I'll be hopping on podcasts weekly.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, different people, different groups, and that should be fun, bro. Being able to collab with stuff like this.
Yeah. Especially, bro. Yeah, bro. Good luck this season, bro. I wish you all the best, bro. I know you're gonna do great things, bro. Just keep your level-headed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You got all the talent in the world to do great things, bro. So
Yes, sir.
I'm rooting for you, bro.
Yes, sir. I love it, bro. I appreciate that.
I love you too, bro. Appreciate you.
I appreciate
Yo, I'm gonna drop all Rob's social media in the description below. All right, my boy. Have a good one, man.
Yes, sir, my boy. I see you.
All right, bro. See you, bro.